Welcome to this episode of Breaking Bread. I'm your host, Fiyah, here with my guest, Brother Sizwe, teacher, father, all of the above. I'm just going to let him introduce himself real quick.
Greetings, my name is Brother Sizwe, also known as Spirit of the Nation in many communities. Similar to what Fiyah said, educator. Overall, just a human being. Let me just start here. I'm a human being living this experience. Got a lot to share, a lot to learn. My passions are liberation for my people, hip-hop, and family.
Sure. Well, the first question we got for today is who are you?
Who am I?
And what do you do?
That's funny. We're on a workshop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm an existential being. I am a co-creator of Spirit Works, which I run with my wife, Mizan. And we pretty much inspire intergenerational wellness, creating experiences that transform lives. So that's kind of, how do we do this? Cultural convenings, wellness coaching. Overall, just trying to create spaces and opportunities for people to explore their full self, people to be vulnerable in community, and really just an opportunity for not so much healing, but transformation.
Who inspires you and what inspires you to do this work that y'all do, the Spirit Works?
I would say, the countless ancestors, of course, the freedom fighters. We are in Black August, I would like to acknowledge all those political prisoners, freedom fighters that have paved the way, have sacrificed to, for us to be sitting here and speaking. Around all these lights, around all these opportunities to grow, around, just so many ways. But just saying that to say, my mom, when I look at her and think about her story, and where she's come and where she is now, how she held the family together, my father, of course, I would have to start there. I think not often enough do we just acknowledge those that are immediately,
The givers of life.
Exactly, influencing us. And then, like you say, just, my community, I would say everyone, I see the Kingmakers of Oakland,
Yes,
shouts out to Baba
Shout
C and, everyone working diligently to press that work, keep that work forward. And, I am because we are is a true statement. There's been a countless, if I start going down the list, I'm going to leave someone out, and I don't want to do that. So I really feel my spiritual path has brought me to a point of just acknowledging, the inspiration comes from inside of you. And these ancestors and these beings and these energies are with us daily, and you can access them always. It's not about so much what, Dr. Sebi told us. It's about how we're going to apply, That's just one example.
You can have all that information, but if you ain't putting the steps in to better yourself and better just everything with what it's not going to work.
Exactly.
So
it's a both and there's a good starting point for all of us. I mentioned Sebi primarily because the health and wellness kick. I know that you're into your alkaline right now and exploring different diet, different diet avenues and eating modalities. So
just different lifestyle in general, honestly, because the type of lifestyle that a lot of us are on with diet is not beneficial to us. So I feel like you got to start with yourself. You can't really be telling people all these different things that they should do and you're not doing it yourself. So that's what I feel about that whole situation. Yeah.
Man, it's very wise. How old are you, young man?
Man.
The wise young man here.
I got good teachers.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got
what else you got in there
on the agenda.
You gotta come prepared to the meeting now.
Okay, how does the work that you do impact you and your family?
I think it impacts our family in different ways. I think now my family can see the impact, and I think give gratitude for the work. But I think early on, there was many hours that we spent building this infrastructure, building, in the community, building on ourselves. And I know it's just always hard to balance family, self. A family of 5 children, 5 children, I want to say, yeah. you know. I have to double count sometimes. I'm like, is it 6? I was like, wait a minute, no. but 5, right? So, you know, it's almost impossible for everyone's needs to be met. And I think that's something I could always reflect back on, like how can I have done better being more present at home. But, you know, it's the sacrifice you make to get to a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think I've always been blessed to have somewhat of a check and balance system to where things never got out of control in any way. You know, like I feel like our family is thriving right now. So
yes, sir.
I give thanks.
Mm-hmm. How does it impact you personally?
How does it impact me, the work? I think, you know, I want to shout out at this point, I want to shout out Baba Shine, Jen Wright, and Mama Nedra for creating the container and the space of Camp Akili. Because I feel like that work and that framework has definitely impacted every aspect of my being, primarily because it put me on the path of that inner work very, very young. And I feel like the work that we do is a lifestyle. It's not necessarily work. And we knew that for a while. It's not like, you know, you turn this off like, okay, I'm going to be alkaline. You know, I'm saying that word because it's popular right now. I'm being funny. But I'm going to, you know, rock these gemstones 8 hours of the day, and then the other 8 hours of the day, the gemstones are in my closet, or, you know, because it's not about the gemstone. You know what I mean? Like I said in many verses, it's like you are the gemstone. You are the magic. You are the medicine. You are, like, these are conduits. You know what I'm saying? And I rock them proudly. I give thanks for the energy. But we have to understand that the power ultimately comes from inside of us.
I'll say.
You know.
Yes, sir, man. That's powerful, right?
And I feel like that's what the work has made me reflect on, especially at this point. It's like there's only so many circles I could hold. There's only so many interactions I could have. You know, at this point, the best thing for me to do is make sure I'm always of sound mind and body to the best of my ability. Be the best person I could be. Reflect that in my family. Hopefully that within my family can reflect out, you know what I'm saying? And we just keep creating these examples and this energy as opposed to the other way around of this trauma narrative, this trauma-centered narrative, this dysfunctional-centered narrative that, you know, we're fed everywhere. We love it. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about this the other day. Like, why do I love Dave East banging somebody's head into the concrete? Like, my head really like Dave East just, you know what I'm saying? Or Nas, you know, whoever. Like, some cats get away with it. You know what I mean? While other cats, you know, we might shun them, you know, because of the way that they do it. But ultimately, it's the yin and yang. You know, you can't have light without dark. Can't have dark without light, and that's kind of what I'm learning. I can be the most righteous individual, and you know my shadows will surface. My shadows will surface at times that you might not be ready for. So how do you deal with that? And I think that's the journey of humanity. So when that side come up, when that wolf come up that wants to be fed, then I know it's that lower self wolf. You know, where do I move from that point in that moment?
That's powerful.
You know what I mean?
And speaking back on that, on the music, just what vibration is that putting you at? Like when you think about it, like we'll be listening to somebody getting their head smashed in all day, but does that impact like how you think and how you feel? Like do you feel that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We was listening to what were we listening to this morning? I want to say it was some midnight, but it was still Pulse.
Yeah,
it was still Pulse. Yeah. And that vibration in the house, it was just like upful. It was like...
It felt like kind of joyous.
It was joyous, happy. Omega was like, why are you so happy? I was like, man, it just feels good in here right now. Made me want to make a mango smoothie from scratch, not the frozen. I just wanted to go to the island and crack a coconut and just get on my iTowel living and just... And do what I know is right. You know, clean my house, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to... Sometimes the woo, it's okay to be grungy. You know what I mean? I might just be in my woo and just, you know, it's just grungy and it's just incense ashes everywhere and it's just MP, just, you know, dust. You know, all of my crumbs, all of my MP, just gritty, trying to make the next beat. But yeah, and I think media knows this. I think marketing knows this. I think Disney knows this. I think all of these people know this.
They know how to change emotion through music.
Through music, through film.
Yeah.
You know, you remember that One Man Up conference when y'all was talking about film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was centered around film, changing the narrative. I mean, it's important. Like, it's changing the narrative can't just be a narrative we say anymore. It has to be something, you know what I mean? It's not just, we have a lot of catchphrases. I'm going to be that guy right now. We have a lot of language right now in 2021. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, all of this language really comes down to how are you cultivating the best parts of yourself, you know, to push the work forward, your best intentions, you know, your best reflection of humanity, you know. And, you know, Baba C, like you say, we was talking about that, Bayon, Gordine, you know, everybody, you know, at that particular time. We had a whole crew, Jahi, you know. It was just like, yo, this change the narrative thing is real as far as film is concerned.
Right.
You know, big ups to, you know, Wolfhawk Jaguar, you know what I'm saying, brother, you know, Shaka Jamal. It's like there's brothers that know this and use this medicine in a very, very powerful way.
And it's those few individuals that are actually doing what they trying to, they
exactly.
really, but
it matches up.
Right, but there's only a few though, that's the thing. So I feel like it's just, we have to work on making it more of a movement that people aren't just saying it and people are actually putting the effort and the steps in to really change the narrative that they want to see, you know?
It's tough, man. It's tough.
It's hard to be that upright guy all the time.
Tough. It's tough. And that's the thing. I think what I'm realizing is it's just about being you. It's actually, the upright guy is hard to be all the time.
Yeah.
Just be you, because, you know, then you could make mistakes and then you could fail. You know, I think any polar, you know, anywhere you try to be where you become this person, like even Brother Sizwe, you know what I mean? I'm moving to a space where it's just Sizwe now, you know what I mean? Just because Brother Sizwe was important and an important aspect of my life, but I'm also transforming. And, you know, Brother Sizwe was and is an energy, you know what I'm saying, and is an important medicine. And then it's also, who is Sizwe?
Right.
Because there was Sizwe before Brother Sizwe, and Sizwe liked things. And, you know, there was a certain way that I approached the music. There was a certain way, you know. So sometimes, not even sometimes, it's okay to rediscover yourself. You know, who are you?
Even when you're older, it's not just something that you do when you're growing up.
I never thought you would stop eating meat. I thought the meat was just, I thought I was going to lose this battle. But now I'm seeing like I was correct by letting y'all explore and find your own path and hopefully come back to the seeds that are planted. And I think that's what it is. Our people need more information, more opportunities to explore, more opportunities to, like you say, make mistakes. You know, more opportunities to not feel shameful about everything we do. Your brothers feel shameful. Like, dang, like, we be in positions where we feel shameful about everything we do. Like,
it's always something that we doing wrong.
Something we doing wrong, something ain't right, or grades. It's just like, and whether we want to admit it or not, that we hold that. We hold that in places. You know, so yeah, man. But like I say, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, evolution. You know, as I'm looking at 50 now.
Right.
I can't be wrestling with the brothers like that anymore.
That's for the 23-year-olds.
That's for the 23-year-olds. It's different chambers. You know what I mean? That's for that sector. I mean, of course, yeah, we can do these things, but it's like that means, you know, what legacy have we left? You know, the legacy will die with that person unless you're passing it forward. You know, eating habits, ways of being. How do you hold a family together? What are taxes? Well, you know, all of these things we're seeing on TikTok now that are popular in the community and in the conversation are important. And so now, absolutely right. You know more about taxes than I did. You know what I mean? And all these things and running a business, and that's a win for me. You know, we're moving forward. We're pushing the bar forward.
That elevation. You said something real powerful that stuck with me right now is kind of like wearing the mask. Like you had you got like different masks. You got the Spirit of the Nation mask. That's just the hardcore hip hop fanatic. That guy. You got the Brother Sizwe, which is the teacher, the mentor, educator. And then you just have Sizwe.
Yeah, like who is that guy?
And you go in and out of those phases all the time. And I feel like everybody has those.
Look, there's Mo. Like folks don't even know Mo. Mo is like real. Like who is Mo?
Man.
That's like immediate family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Chandra, D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nikani don't even call me Mo. So it's like, and it's funny when we think about names. That's why my nigga, you know what I mean? It's too ambiguous sometimes.
Yeah.
It could go many different places. You know what I mean? Even King, you know what I mean? King can maybe feel like it's too much. You know what I mean? Like I know some folks they don't want to be referred to as a king. They want to be, I don't want to be a ruler, you know? And then it's God. Then it's just, you know. But at the end of the day, it's important to define your name. It's important to define who you are. Because otherwise, I remember Mos was talking about this. I'm not going to do the whole interview, but I saw it the other day. And he was talking about why he changed his name.
Mos Def?
Mos Def. Why he moved to Yasin Bey. You know, well, basically the punchline was something like he was at an airport and he was walking through the crowd or walking through and somebody came up to him like, yo, Mos. And he was basically like,
that's not my name.
This is kind of weird. Like he felt like he was becoming an object.
Kind of like typecasted to
exactly. Like you want to break the typecast, like, you know. And forever, you know what I'm saying? The legacy of Brother Sizwe is going to be forever. So that's never going to change. And I'm still going to introduce myself as such. And at the same time, we recognize evolution.
And that you can't stay in the same place forever.
At all.
The only thing that's going to change, or that doesn't change, is change. That's one of my favorite quotes right there.
Look at you.
All right. Do you mind talking about some of the work that you've done in the past? Like as far as teaching, educating, things of that nature? Just touching on a little bit.
Yeah. Well, my educational journey started in Luxor Academy. And I want to say this is like 2001. Sister B. Deborah was the principal. I was there, and I was actually just doing like after school program, teaching literacy. And that's kind of really where from the master teachers, B. Sayana, B. Deborah, and Mama Karima was around, Mama Wana, and Bathsheba, Brother Harambe. Like as far as like teaching and activating with the youth on an academic level, there was definitely, I was around some master teachers. So, you know, with that being said, over time, I transitioned into a teacher role with Sister Bathsheba over at Roots of Unique Awareness. And that school functioned for about, I want to say maybe between 4 and 5 years. And that was just like ground zero. You know what I'm saying? You in the classroom, I'm working with like first like a 1-2 combo, first and second graders. And, you know, it was beautiful experience. I know we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to, you know, quickly move through the timeline. When I transitioned out of independent education there, you know, I immediately did a summer program called Freedom School. And when I did Freedom School, it definitely, you know, opened my eyes a lot to how we approach education, how can we really just shift, you know, what teaching is, you know what I'm saying, or what our youth need to learn, and how it can be centered around, you know, cultural competency and awareness. You know, stuff we was already doing, but, you know, it was nice to see it outside of that setting. You know, shortly after that, we moved into public school, you know what I mean? I was doing a lot of work around restorative justice. I ran a program called Brothers Keeper before it was the Brothers Keeper. It was funny when I heard the Brothers Keeper initiative, and, you know, just thankful that, you know, seeds planted, even in the universe, they bloom, you know, but thinking about that. Linked up with AMA, right, and help build, you know, some of that framework, you know, just around how we get down in the classroom, how we approach the youth, to just, you know, I was able to, I would say, influence and inspire, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't definitely there to build the structure out, but I think I added some sauce, you know what I'm saying, in that mix. And forever grateful to Baba C and just the whole crew for, you know, trusting me, really, and allowing me to shine, and allowing me to create, and allowing me to explore and really create a space of transformation for the young man, you know. And I think that was definitely seen. But, from, working at UMing Charter School to working, we worked at Mandarin education, we worked at private school settings, we worked at public school settings.
And independent.
Yeah,
all
so
of them. You've worked in every school
I'll say
setting.
we pretty much ran the gambit. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, though.
So, did a lot of work with parents. Like, that's kind of where we moved to towards the end of, not the end, but towards the latter part of the Spirit Works journey. To kind of present day is a lot of, we did a couple parent conferences because we realized that the youth is one thing, but what about the ecosystem?
Yeah,
So
what are they going back to after y'all give them all these gems?
Give the parents the same gems, give them the same love, give the family the same tools and resources, and we felt like that will have a longer lasting impact. So, we did, like I say, about 3 parent, parent conferences. Probably had about over 200 people there. Different workshops, different. You cook there. So you being humble over there.
Y'all had marketplaces.
Yeah, you cook, you catered. Yeah, it was dope. And then we were working like at West Oakland Middle School and a couple other schools, just doing family engagement. We'll meet with the families like once a week, and we'll basically do this what you would call radical healing. We'll get in there, and it was about information, but that's not how Spirit Works approaches it. It's really about relationship building, and really meeting folks at what they need, and hopefully, providing some skills, some agency, to help transform and push the situation forward.
I say, man, that's powerful. What are some of the next steps for Spirit Works as
Next
an
steps?
organization?
Man, sky's the limit. The next steps is this $1 million check that's just gonna fall out, and I know someone out there is listening, so I know you have it. So I'm thankful. You could hit us up at spiritworks@gmail.com. We're only asking for $1 million. It's not a lot of money, and really we're using this money to further develop our retreat center. We purchased some land up in Shasta.
That's interesting.
And really what we realized is all throughout California where we wanted to go to these beautiful places, we didn't really see a lot of us in ownership of these places. So we decided to make a pivot and buy some land that could really be utilized as a retreat center for, artists, for folks seeking respite just from doing the healing work, frontline workers, just a resource for our community, to really go deeper into the work we're doing. You got to unplug sometimes. It's good to...
It's necessary.
You know what I mean? You do a workshop in downtown Oakland, you walk out, you're still in downtown Oakland. Like, you got open, but,
You just right back to the hustle and bustle
and you don't even realize it, as opposed to being somewhere, it's like, okay.
I can't go to no of my comfort spots. I can't get no Ethiopian food. I can't do none of that. They got one bank out here.
My comforts are 5.5 hours away. Yeah. So I got to think twice before I even, so that's kind of the thing. It's like really about going deeper. And then really expanding the Sankofa project. So we have
Can you speak on that?
Yeah, so the Sankofa project is the Living Museum of African History. And, I got to be careful when we say this because there's so many woke people in 2021. This is really just one narrative. You know what I mean? This is one perspective, one story. There's many stories. You know what I'm saying?
There's too many to just put in one museum.
It's too many stories.
We're going to have the whole state filled up.
Come on now. This is just one story. I mean, you could have a story about the brothers and sisters that were just here in America. You know what I mean? That were just in South America. You know what I mean? That we're on this side of the world outside of Africa. Like, how far do we want to go back, right? So we understand that. But saying all that to say, it's a timeline of African history that really is a living piece of art. So we have live actors, we have installations that kind of are time period specific. So when you're walking through this timeline, it's changing around you. You're looking around, the walls are changing, the floor is changing. You're going through the greatness. You're going through some of the middle passage and some of the resistance of the time, and you're going through Reconstruction all the way up to present day Oakland, modern day Oakland, and we even go past that to the future, like it ends, and it's like you're kind of like in this future. It could be 3,000, 4,000 years into the future, and we're still thriving, and it just kind of puts a question on your mind, like, okay, what is mine to do right now? Like, it ain't over. You know what I mean? It ain't over. We still here. Look at this long timeline. We still here. But then look at how much more we have to go. And, you know, just excited to really share that with the people, man. We was open 2 weeks and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So we pivoted and we got like a 4K kind of POV kind of perspective of the museum, you know. And we're actually collaborating with Oakland Museum. It's going to be housed there, September, mid-September till about February, I want to say.
Cool. Definitely come check them out. You know, it's going to be there. It's going to change your whole perspective. Honestly, it's just real liberating, powerful experience.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
For sure.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it, man. Got some music coming, got some albums coming. It looks like we lightweight developing kind of like a record label. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just be putting music out there, kind of what we coining radical healing music. You know what I mean? Something that's going to make you feel something. It's soulful, it's hip-hop, it's thought-provoking, you know. But it's just, some habits never die. You know what I'm saying? So I've been making beats and chopping beats for as long as I could remember. So it's just kind of going, like you say, who is Sizwe?
Right.
Sizwe he was doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before he knew anything about Rastafari, before he knew anything about
hip-hop.
You know what I'm saying? Any of these things. It was hip-hop, man. So getting back to that essence. So what's up for the Kingmakers? I see that this is popping, and what else is going on?
We got a lot of things in the works right now. Y'all gotta wait to see. Y'all gotta wait to see. We can't even give y'all the sauce yet. But we got a lot of things coming down the pipeline this next year. Hopefully things will be more in person, so we can really connect with the people on a deeper level than like Zoom, things of that nature. So that's really our main goals. But y'all not ready for all the sauce yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a king. What is hate from this fire that I bring? What I speak is in my veins, in my genes.